Come on in the room, everybody. Come on in the room. So that I still had the whole filter situation on from over in the last open session that I did on Reddit. Come on in, everybody. I would love to see you in distance socializing tonight. This is a place for peace and positivity and love. I'm trying to create a loving creative community. I'm Andre in the Flow. It's so good to see you tonight. Someone asked me today who I was and what did I do, and I found that to be such a bizarre question from a stranger. But I rolled it around a little bit, and I'm an artist and a creative based in New York City. And then if you start asking me how I create, I can then break all of those things down. If you start asking me how are you an artist, I can tell you about the artistry of spreadsheets, the artistry of Google Calendar, the artistry of Telegram, and things like that. Anyway, we're going to get into the show, the session. We shouldn't call it a show. It's really a session. We're going to get into this session very, very soon. I've just got to check some of my opening settings, and then we'll be off to the races. I'm so grateful that you're here. Let me know in the comments as you gather around my, as you gather around my bonfire of love. I had the imagery but I did not have the words at all. Okay. Let's get our lives together and have a clean community vibe check. If you want to, you can let me know where you're watching from, and I will shout you out. I'm Andre in the Flow, an artist and creative and community builder out of New York City. So that should tell you about me. Let me know who you are in the comments if you'd like. If not, that's cool too, because I'm going to go through our e-blast of the day on this live, and maybe you'll be able to answer some of the questions. Where are my session notes? There they are. It's good to see wherever you're watching and listening to from all over the world. Happy Hot and Spicy Food Day to everybody. Tara just joined us over on Instagram. The main space, Tara Praolo Studios in the House, Production 1, and also mentor, coach, and friend. Happy Hot and Spicy Food Day to you, beloved. I hope that you have the Tums close by, as I always do. The quote of the day is from Muhammad Ali. If my mind can conceive it, if my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. I'll say it one more time for the people back in the cheap seats. If my mind can conceive it, if my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. That's Muhammad Ali. I love that quote today. It made me feel like a giant inside. If my mind can conceive it, and let me tell you something. There's a list of things. No hot wings. No, I've gone pescatarian. Ironically enough, in 2022, it wasn't a resolution, but it's just something that happened. So I'm just pescatarian. So no more hot wings for me. It's a sad. No, it's not. It's for my highest good. Okay, back to the plan. Happy, once again, that question about the wings came from the Happy Hot and Spicy Food Day over on our LCA E-Blast. The question of the day for the room is very clear. What food items did you eat so far today? Let me know where you're watching from in the comments, and also let me know what food items you ate today. I'll go first. My days have gotten very, very disciplined and organized in that I get up, and part of my last rituals before leaving the house is to make a raw vegan shake in a blender bottle. So every morning I'm in the kitchen. It's not super loud, but every morning, because I have a little small blender bottle, but every morning I'm in the house, and after the shower, I'm and that one scoop of vegan raw protein becomes breakfast, essentially, and it gets me out the door. It's got wonderful superfoods in it. It's got probiotics in it, so everything's healthy in my gut, and I feel so energized. And I literally do that one scoop, shake it. Out the door I go. I even wash the blender bottle before I leave the house. All right. I'm only going first because no one else is telling me about what they ate today. So then shake, off I go. I get to my desk. I get to the office. I'm there, logging onto the computer, wiping down everything. You have to sanitize every time you come in. You just sanitize your chair, everything like it's COVID is still a thing. And then around 11:30 noon, my morning shake starts to wear off, and that's when I grab the organic Whole Foods cinnamon raisin toast that I toasted before I left the house in the morning, and I buttered with vegan spread on not on both sides, on one side, and then sandwiched them together. Those two pieces of toast becomes my morning snack. 40, 50 calories each, something like that. Do that, and then that takes me over into lunch. Lunch then is a bed of mixed greens with a can of drained, non-salted garbanzo beans with fresh cracked pepper and creamy Italian dressing, like 1 or 2 ounces. Okay? That's lunch. Oh, with an apple. And maybe with the toast, with the cinnamon raisin toast, I believe I had a banana. So the banana was with the toast for like the morning snack after the shake. The garbanzos on greens happens along with an apple for dessert. I did no candy today. We have a candy dish in our office that's always like full of all kinds of contraband and wonderful things. And anyway, I didn't have any candy today. And I slept less than I usually sleep today. I slept last night for like 7.5 hours, but I woke up just ready to go. Where have you been going in the morning? We're talking about what food items I ate so far today. That's the prompt for the class. And so after the apple happens, after the garbanzos in the bed of greens, I'm done. Unless I have like a little cutie tangerine or two for like an after lunch snack, I'm solid until I get home. And I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's still early. I gotta wrap up this community vibe check. All right. No one's told me about what they ate today, so off we go to land the plane with a 9-minute community vibe check. I just love it. We're here. It's out in the world. People can say, oh, I didn't know what was going on with you, Dre. Oh, I send you an email every day. Oh, I didn't know what was going on with you, Dre. I did a 9-minute show last night. The people at my work, they're like, you do a show every day? Yeah, I do a show every day. It's 9 minutes and 44 seconds of my life. I can stand it. You should know that the RSVP system for our community vibe checks has changed. If you're interested in that, get on the eBlast. It's free. If you're interested in that, you should also click into the Eventbrite where you can get reminders of when we're going live. It's going to be a more consistent process in 2022. And now there's a new banner in the eBlast that takes you to all of the Love City links and announcements. Check out there, and then at the very end of it, I say what I'll say to you tonight. Thanks so much for being part of this community healing journey. I'll say it 2 times slower. Thanks so much for being part of this community healing journey. Tara's coming in a little late in the game with I had a banana and popcorn. Okay, that's the answer to the question. Anybody else want to let us know what you had today? Okay. Thanks so much for being a part of this community healing journey. I also put into these blasts for those who want to know, and I don't throw this out like all the time, but it's just a way of living for me. It says I/we, talking about my brand, unequivocally believe that Black Lives Matter. No human is illegal. Indigenous land, water, and rights must be protected. Love is love. Women's rights are human rights. Solidarity with trans people and issues is essential. That's what we believe over here. And it's in my emails every day, unapologetically. If you want to be on the eBlast list, andrestith.net, or follow Andre in the Flow on Instagram. We're always promoting love and positivity here. Nothing more, nothing less. It's been 11 minutes and 30 seconds of love juice for you. I hope that you really enjoyed tonight's community vibe check. As my notes are pointing me to tell you, I hope you're loving yourself today. I hope you're being kind to you today. I hope you're aligning yourself with your dreams and your goals today in an authentic way. There's a reason, going back to the food thing, there's a reason why I switched over to raw vegan shakes in the morning, because I got tired of feeling, Tara, heavy in my spirit, in my energy, and also in my gut. It was just a lot going on down there. And by down there, let me put all my things into Do Not Disturb. This is disturbing me in the studio right now. It's just a crew of one. I got tired towards the end of the year. For those of you who've been watching, for the last 2 years, because I've been streaming for the last 2 years, the end of 2021 was COVID for me. I was quarantined for 10 days. I was emotionally invested into a gentleman suitor. There was just a lot of topsy-turvy kind of happening in my life personally and then in my physical body temple. And I had to make some decisions about how I wanted to move into 2022. And so what I essentially did was start to just strip away the things that were not serving me, which is part of the, I haven't done affirmations in a long, long time, and I'm not going to do them tonight. Sometimes it's not adding things to your life. You had an eggplant? Are you talking about my male suitor? Tara's so messy in ways that she would not want you to be messy with her, but it's okay. It's fine. Yes, that guy, Tara. That guy. And so there comes a time in your life where you recognize that sometimes it's nothing that you need to add to your life to make it better. It's what you need to subtract from your life to make it better. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not addition. People think, more and more and more and more and more. More and more power, more sex, more food, more. They think that more is going to actually fix it. And I found it personally to be true in my life. And you have your own lives to live. Trust me, we're clear that everyone's living their own experience in their own life here. Very, very clear. And I had to make a decision about the things that were not serving me in 2021 that I would deliberately and intentionally choose to not bring into 2022. That's what brings me into this energy of joyful expansion. I'm not talking about my waistline expanding joyfully. I'm talking about my energy expanding, where I'm allowing myself to become as big as the room, as big as the apartment, as big as the house, as big as the city, as big as the state, as big as the nation, as big as the world. Allowing my energy to joyfully expand. That felt good. One more time. It's from out of my out of my chest, out of my energy, out of my life experiences, out of my beauty and terror, pleasure and pain, out of that joyfully expanding from me out into this room, out into this apartment, out into this complex, out into the streets, out into the city, out into the state, out into the nation, out into the world, joyfully expanding love, right? And sometimes when you're joyfully expanding, or when you're moving into these spaces that I'm trying to move into of joyfully expanding, sometimes you feel really, really bogged down by the heaviness of life. We all know what this feels like. This is very universal. 15 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. We won't go longer than 20. It just gets really, really heavy. So I started asking myself, as I had COVID, laid out on the couch that used to be in my studio, laid down, but now it's up. What can you let go of, beloved? I said this to myself. What can you let go of, beloved? What is not serving you? And what can you gently add and put back into place? Kind of like with babies when they get ill, you starting them back on gentle foods. Even adults, when you get sick, you don't start quite on the solids. You just start back on simple things. Simple things that serve you. Not that serve me, not that fits in with the friend group or the in crowd of the moment, not what's in with the trend, but what aligns with your visions and dreams. That's essentially what I'm talking about. It's essentially what I'm always talking about, night by night by night. It's essentially the same shit, different day, right? Same shit, different day. This energy of trying to joyfully expand so as not to suffer a basic ass life. It's pretty much that. I'm choosing deliberately to get into a positive mental attitude, to drink my shake, and to move myself into the world, to take what we were talking about last night. We were talking about this last night. To take action. Does it look like the action that others may want me to take? Maybe so, maybe not. We could get into the whole internal versus external scorecard thing that we talk about in here a lot. We could talk about that tomorrow. But taking action steps to your highest good. The last thing I'll say is something that I said earlier, maybe in an earlier, was it here or was it in the earlier session? I don't even know. Someone today on one of these dating apps, because I'm back on the market, someone asked me, who are you and what do you do? What do you do? It's a very common question. Sometimes in a white supremacist patriarchal society, it can be a very leading question about your value and your worth, but we'll get into that on a different day as well. But this is a simple innocuous question I felt in the moment. What do you do? And I could not distill it. So I rambled. And then I got a little, tough on myself about why did you ramble and why did you feel. Here's the deal. I feel like I'm no different than any other human being on the planet in that I am an artist and that I am a creative. When I say that I'm an artist and a creative, that leaves room for me to unpack the multitude of the other things I am. And I'm not saying multitude to be in my ego or whatever. I'm saying multitude because that's what Walt Whitman told us. We contain multitudes. So why would I need to write paragraph for this part of my life, this part of my resume, to try to measure up and add up into the energy of this man that I don't even know, right? Where does that come from? What is that about? Got to get that together, right? But the true answer is what I'm about to share with you now, and it's what I'm going to say forevermore. This is like a turning moment in the woods for me, in that I am fully an artist and a creative. When people ask, what do you do? I'm an artist and a creative. Now, if you want to get into the ways that Excel spreadsheets and Google files and Google workspaces and audio, sound, and lights and soundboards and computers and ring lights, and you want to get into, if you want to talk about all the ways in which I make my life of artistry and creativity, if you want to talk about that, then we can talk about that. Pour me a glass of wine. Pour me a glass of wine, and then we can talk about all of the ways that in my 37-year young life, I've inhabited the full life of an artist and a creative. Now, the world has no space in the Muggle mind for this kind of human, right? We're supposed to fit within, I'm a trash collector, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a secretary, I'm an executive assistant. You know, there's all of these things to check, right? But what if you want to dabble and taste from, like, it's like, why would I want to only eat American food for the rest of my life when there's Thai food and Japanese cuisine and Indian food and all kinds of wonderful things to taste? I no longer have to call myself French fries. I think that's American. I no longer have to call myself a hamburger, Cracker Jacks. I no longer have to call myself Cracker Jacks. Because the point is what Tara Paolo Studio put, it's a food. I am a food. I can be watermelon, I can be Cracker Jacks, I can be chicken, I can be potatoes, I can be all of these things as nourishment to people. You can do the same thing. I'm not a fucking unicorn. You can do the same things. You can be food to people if we deliberately choose it so. I'm Andre in the Flow. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. And until we meet again, I hope that you hold love in your heart. If you're really, really looking for a loving community of people who want to stand behind you, to become what I'm calling in my mind these days, co-conspirators to your magic. If you're looking for someone to be a co-conspirator to your magic, then just tap in. There's nothing you can't do or be or have. I love you too, Tara Paolo Studio. Thanks everybody for being here. 2 minutes and 55 seconds over. Extra juice of love. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. I'm Andre in the Flow, an artist and creative based in New York City. Coming to you for tonight's community vibe check. I'm here every night. If you want to RSVP, just click link in bio, and you can know where we are and when we are. Before I go, check out the podcast episode that I did with Esteban Conde of At The Root Wave. He's doing amazing stuff supporting artists as well in the ecosystem of love. And so if you're interested in seeing our, it's like a 37-minute conversation, reading the e-blast and finding out more about him and his expansion in the world joyfully as well. If you're interested in a podcast, you want to take something with you on the train or in the car, check out the latest episode of the Love City Arts podcast with Esteban Conde, The Root Wave, doing amazing things in the ecosystem of love. I'll see y'all tomorrow.